Alright, so I'm going to show you how to make bulletproof coffee today. First, you got to start out with filtered water. It's got to be filtered. Your tap water is dirty, full of all kinds of nonsense. Take some filtered water, put it in a pot. You don't want to get too boiled. Thank you, assistant. Alright, well that's getting to a boil. I like to use a French press because you get all the nice oils in the coffee that are cancer fighting, among other things. My bulletproof airscape canister to keep my coffee nice and fresh. You want to do about 2 to 3 tablespoons of this, but I just kind of do it by eye.
Biggie.
Got my other assistant, Biggie James Smalls. Alright. Here's the other big piece to bulletproof coffee is unsalted grass-fed butter. Gotta be unsalted, otherwise your coffee will taste super weird. Gotta be grass-fed because you get a lot of nutrients that you don't get from your regular commercial grade butter, which is highly toxic. So I'm going to throw about 2 tablespoons of this into my coffee.
How much does Biggie get?
Biggie gets 1 tablespoon. We got to start him in ketosis in the morning, which is fat burning mode, which is where your body prefers to be. Favorite part of Biggie's day. There you go, big guy. Alright, so got the butter in there. And here's the other critical piece, is your MCT oil. Just reaching my bag of tricks.
What is MCT oil?
MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides. This particular MCT oil, brain octane oil, made by Bulletproof, is derived from coconut oil. What we do is we extract the most potent active ingredient in coconut oil, and we concentrate it into this blend. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of this, but you want to start out with more like a teaspoon when you're first getting into this, otherwise you'll have what we call disaster pants, and nobody wants that. Again, I'm going to kind of eyeball this.
Can you describe what disaster pants is?
It's not self-explanatory. Basically, you'll be making frequent trips to the toilet. And that's no fun. Put a damper on your day. When you, first thing in the morning you have this, and nothing else, your body's running off these high-quality fats. And so once your body has used those nutrients, it's going to be in that same mode, ketosis, fat-burning mode, so it's going to pull from existing fat. So for people that are trying to lose weight, this is like an incredible diet. And also...
Eating butter.
Eating butter, absolutely. It's counterintuitive because we're stuck in this paradigm shift where butter is bad, fat's bad, low fat, everything, which is absolute garbage. It's based on bogus science done in like 50s, 60s, 70s, but as you can see in the media nowadays, this stuff's getting turned on its ass. It's a pretty exciting time.
And Biggie's actually lost quite a bit of weight eating butter.
He has. His coat has gotten a lot shinier. His stool is nice and solid. I put brain octane also on his food, the MCT oil, and he's extremely smart from it. I can tell, kind of.
Biggie. Man, he's pretty smart. He knows his own name.
And this is the other key. So beyond just the butter, the oil, and the coffee, the other main thing that I would highly recommend is collagen protein. Really unique protein compound that comes specifically, it's found in your skin, bones, and tendons. This comes from the hide of grass-fed cows. And this is particularly good for rapid tissue repair. If you're nursing any kind of injuries, this will help move that process along a little more quickly. It will help promote sleep. It's hydrolyzed, which means it's pre-digested, so your body's actually going to get every serving of protein that's in here, unlike a lot of other proteins where it says 30 grams per serving, you get maybe half of that.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes. The best part of waking up is not, contrary to popular belief, Folgers in your cup. That stuff is just chock full. It's chock full of mycotoxins, which mycotoxins are essentially just a byproduct of mold, moldy coffee. So those kind of big players will cut corners for profit naturally, like big corporations do, and you end up with moldy, crappy coffee. So when you get that kind of spike and crash that you're used to from regular coffee, that's generally the mycotoxins kind of doing their thing. And then you'll let this seep for about 4 to 5 minutes. You don't want to go beyond that, otherwise it'll be really strong and it'll just kind of, you're not going to get the best effects there.
So what is going on here?
So right now we're just letting the coffee grinds kind of mix with the water.
So it's coffee grinds in there?
Exactly, just coffee grinds and boiled water. The reason why I like to use this, I alluded to this earlier, the French press over just a conventional coffee maker, is because, first of all, you just feel kind of like a badass. It's kind of primitive. But the main reason, health-wise, is there's a couple essential oils in coffee that are lost when you use like a paper filter in a regular coffee pot. So when you use a French press, you capture those, and it actually tastes better in my opinion. Most people will say the same thing.
How much does, like if you were to break it down, how much does a cup of coffee cost?
So a regular cup of coffee, but Bulletproof Coffee, if you were to just buy all the things and do it yourself, it comes out to I think like $2.25 a cup. So if you compare that to your regular cup of coffee that you would get at like a Starbucks, let's say if you were to just get a regular black cup, okay, maybe that's like $1.50 or something like that, but most people don't just get that, and if you want a high quality cup of coffee, you're gonna be paying anywhere from like $3 to $5 for your mocha or that kind of stuff. So, and again, it also serves as a meal replacement for a lot of people, myself included, so that's where the kind of economic benefit comes from that. I recommend that.
So I feel like last time you were throwing whole sticks of butter in there. Have you reduced your butter amount?
I have a little bit. It's kind of funny. Your body just knows what it wants. And in the beginning, when I first started doing this, I just felt like I needed more butter. And over time, it just kind of like plateaued where I was like, all right, my body doesn't feel like I need this much anymore. So I kind of started to level out. And now I'm around like 2 to 3 tablespoons a day. It used to be at like 5 or 6 a day. And sometimes I still do. It just kind of depends on my diet and my exercise routine, that kind of stuff.
So how does that work? That's like just pushing all the sediment, the coffee grounds down? And
exactly. So the strainer in here just pushes all that down, and then you have left just the coffee. Dump this in here. You need to blend this up. A lot of people will be like, they'll just make their coffee and they'll throw the butter and oil in there and they'll just stir it up with a spoon. And that's, for me, that's the difference between tolerating it and truly enjoying it. When you blend it up, it emulsifies everything and makes it into a nice, like frothy kind of mocha type thing, especially when you throw the chocolate stuff in there. So that's key. You can really use any kind of blender. I mean, obviously this is like a nicer one. It's a Ninja, but you can certainly just use anything that's like even a $20, $30 blender, as long as it's glass and or BPA free. And there you have it. Look at that frothy delight. And you'd think, I mean, butter and coffee, that's weird. Even without all the fixings that I put in there, if you just do the butter, oil, and coffee, I guarantee you it would be the most delicious cup of coffee you've ever tasted. So I'm gonna top it off in my Bulletproof mug. Keeps this bad boy hot for hours. And
bro, you're right. 15 minutes almost exactly.
was it really? Nice. There you go. A little bit hot, but bomb. There it is, my friends. Bulletproof coffee in 15 minutes. The dankest, most delicious cup of coffee you've ever had in your life.